We check what's trending. 710KURV Twitter, 710KURV Facebook. Carli Shimkus joining us on 710KURV. And to Rio. And we've got some Americans that are being detained. And what's going on, Carli?
Oh, doesn't this seem like the best movie ever?
We're just getting started.
There's a lot of twists and turns in this tale, I think.
Easy story, man. Well, a lot of questions, not many answers. Now, from a social media standpoint, this is on everybody's mind. Google reporting the top trending search worldwide is the name Ryan Lochte.
Wow.
And folks across social media are calling the situation Lochte-gate, or this is my favorite, Watergate. Isn't that great?
Lochte Ghazi.
Lochte Ghazi and Watergate. I like that even better. We haven't heard much from Lochte since his story was called into question, but he did recently retweet a message from someone who said, "I am from Brazil, and I believe, Ryan, I was robbed on a bus. Drivers are working with robbers." But, this is so crazy. Like you said, with every turn, it gets even crazier. On the one hand, Rio officials are really bringing up some compelling evidence that makes it seem like maybe Ryan Lochte was lying. At the same time, Rio officials are undeniably corrupt. And what would Ryan Lochte have to gain by lying about being mugged?
Let's take a step back then. Look, it was Lotke's mama who brought this out to the media, right? Because he told her
initially, and
right?
then they denied that, and then it came out, well, she was right.
It's like Lochte didn't want this to come out. He didn't want to say anything about it.
Yeah, well, he said that the reason he didn't tell the U.S. Olympic officials initially is because he was afraid that he would get in trouble because he was out really late at night. Apparently, there was some strange rule about that.
Really?
So that's why he said he didn't originally tell.
Why? He's not competing anymore. I don't understand.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
and then there's all these stories about all these people having sex over at the Olympic compound and going crazy and all these parties. That doesn't jive. I wonder if something really bizarre happened to these guys. Where I don't know. Maybe they got robbed by a prostitute or a stripper or something like that. Maybe something they didn't want the world to know about.
You know what? You're right. And what we do know right now is that Lochte is backtracking from part of this story because he did talk to Matt Lauer yesterday on NBC, and he said, and he originally had said that he was robbed at gunpoint. They held a gun to his forehead. Now he's saying, no, that didn't really happen. They just held the gun in his general direction. He originally said that these criminals that were dressed as police pulled the taxi over, and now he's saying that they were stopped at a gas station.
Well, he has
who does he think he is, Brian Williams?
There we go. I was going to say he has a bright future as an NBC anchor, so he should apply for that.
And did you see by any chance, did you see the surveillance footage that was released where Lochte and his three teammates look like, really A-okay, that like they're kind of happy? The surveillance footage is of him returning to Olympic Village after this alleged robbery occurred.
What?
And they look happy. They look fine. They look like nothing ever happened. Now, my husband actually has a pretty interesting take on that footage.
Okay.
He said, and I kid you not, my husband is about Ryan Lochte's age. He actually has two separate friends who were mugged at gunpoint in two different cities. I am not kidding, outside the country. So he said that certain young men, might respond to a robbery in a different sort of way. Nobody was hurt. They took only his wallet. They walked away. Lochte and his friends were definitely drunk. So they may just respond to the situation like, oh, what an adrenaline rush. Oh, my God, this is going to be a great story. So that's his take, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, I was hoping to hear some audio from your husband responding to this.
No.
Yeah. He'll tell you a different story once you get home, though. He'll change up the story.
A very similar story, with subtle differences.
There we go. Carli, we got to go. I know there's other stuff, but it's Lochte-gate right now. That's pretty much all we see online. Carli, thank you much. Carli Shimkus from Fox News, 710KURV, Twitter and Facebook.